politics has once again taken a bitter turn following President Vidya Devi Bhandari's call for the formation of a new government, inviting widespread criticism. If anything, the leaders have only continued to leave the country in a state of confusion, while the priority should have been in stabilizing the national politics to fully deal with the ongoing pandemic. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. President Vidya Devi Bhandari calls for the formation of a new government, inviting major criticism. Calls on opposition parties to claim its majority at the lower house by 5 p.m. today. Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa suffers defeat in the by-elections at the National Assembly. Nepal reports 190 COVID-19 deaths and over 8,000 cases in the past 24 hours. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli urges the UK government to provide Nepal AstraZeneca vaccines. And a ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas begins, bringing an end to 11 days of bombardment in which more than 240 people have died. President Vidya Devi Bhandari has called for the formation of a new government, calling or inviting massive criticism from all quarters. Following recommendation from Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, the President, in accordance with Article 76 of the Constitution, has called upon the members of House of Representatives to present a basis that it has the majority by 5 p.m. today for an alternative government. During the cabinet meeting yesterday, Premier Oli had said that he would pave a way for the formation of a new government and that he did not need to secure a vote of confidence at the lower house. Meanwhile, Chairman of Janata Samajwadi Party Mahanta Thakur and Senior Leader Rajendra Mahto had reached the Prime Minister's residence right after the cabinet meeting yesterday. On a different note, the government has introduced 2 ordinances. President Bhandari, upon the recommendation of the cabinet, issued ordinances related to oath-taking ceremony and COVID crisis management. Now, the Supreme Court has revoked the appointment of 7 ministers. A single bench of Chief Justice Cholindra Samsher Rana revoked the appointment of 7 ministers, saying that a person who is not a member of Federal Parliament cannot be a minister more than once. Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa, Energy Minister Top Bahadur Rai Maji, Industry Minister Lekhraj Bhatta, Urban Development Minister Prabhu Shah, Labour Minister Gauri Shankar Chaudhary, Water Supply Minister Mani Thapa and Sports Minister Dawa Lama will be relieved of their posts as per the Apex Court's verdict. Home Minister Thapa, Energy Minister Rai Maji, Industry Minister Bhatta, Urban Development Minister Shah and Labour Minister Chaudhary had lost their parliamentary posts on 9th of April after they decided to defect to CPN-UMO from CPN Maoists. However, Prime Minister Oli had reappointed them to their respective ministerial posts on the same day. In a preliminary hearing on the writ petition filed by advocates Kapil Dev Dhakal and Biraj Thapa, the bench of Chief Justice Rana said that it was wrong to appoint a non-parliamentarian to the post of a minister for the second time, as the Constitution does not allow for such appointments for more than once and for more than a period of 6 months' time. Home Minister and candidate of the ruling CPN-UML Ram Bahadur Thapa has suffered defeat in the by-election of the National Assembly in Bagmati province. Candidate from the opposition alliance, Khimlal Devkota, defeated Thapa to secure his parliamentary post in the upper house. According to the final result, Devkota received 5,088 votes, while his opponent Thapa garnered 4,014. In the election held earlier yesterday, 338 out of 347 voters had cast their votes. 145 provincial assembly members cast their votes, while 4 had abstained. Likewise, 238 representatives from 119 local levels took part in the voting process, while 6 were not present. CPN-UML had put forth the candidacy of leader Ram Bahadur Thapa, while the opposition parties had fielded the candidacy of Khimlal Devkota. Also contesting for the post was Krishna Bahadur Tamang from Nepal Mazdoor Kisan Party. The election process was carried out with all safety protocols considering coronavirus situation in the country. Vivekshil Saza Party, that has 3 members in the Provincial Assembly, had boycotted the election. The party had issued a press release urging the government and the Election Commission to implement the Supreme Court's directive on no vote. Nepal has reported 190 COVID-19 deaths, taking the national death tally to 5,847. Likewise, 8,227 COVID cases were also reported in the past 24 hours. With this, there are 115,852 active cases in the country at the moment. Kathmandu Valley alone recorded a total of 3,232 cases in the past 24 hours. Meanwhile, 6,543 individuals have registered full recovery, taking the recovery tally to over 366,900. The recovery rate stands at 75.1%. The Health Ministry has informed that there are 1,748 individuals in intensive care units and 492 are on ventilator support. There are 932 individuals in various quarantine centers across the country. According to the Health Ministry, 21,695 samples were tested for COVID-19 through the PCR method yesterday. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has urged the UK government to provide Nepal AstraZeneca vaccines developed by the Oxford University. Premier Oli, during his meeting with British Ambassador to Nepal, Nicola Pollitt, yesterday afternoon requested for the supply of the vaccines to Nepal. The Nepal government urged the UK government to supply the vaccines after Indian-based Serum Institute failed to provide vaccines even after receiving payment in advance. Meanwhile, British Ambassador Pollitt mentioned in social media that the UK, with the efforts with other development partners, would support Nepal to get COVAX vaccines. Nepal has received essential medical materials from Spain in a bid to control COVID-19. Director of Spanish Agency for International Development Cooperation, Magdi Martinez Soliman, handed over the medical materials to Health Minister Hridayesh Tripathi yesterday. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked locals in Patsar district what should be done to ease the supply of oxygen gas needed for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
बाँकी दिनहरुमा पनि अक्सिजनलाई व्यवस्थापन गर्ने कुराहरु त्यसको रिफिल गर्ने कुराहरुलाई निरन्तर रूपमा हाम्रो ध्यान पुग्नु पर्दछ।
सरकारले चाहिँ यो सिलिन्डरहरु अक्सिजन सिलिन्डरहरु चाहिँ जिल्ला जिल्लामा पुर्याउनलाई चाहिँ सहयोग गर्नु पर्यो।
अक्सिजन प्लान्टहरुले सुधारमा राखेर दिनु पर्यो र अक्सिजन सिलिन्डर चाहिँ घर घरमा लगेर राख्नु भएन।
सिलिन्डर चाहिँ जुन ठाउँमा आवश्यक पर्छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ तुरुन्त पुर्याउनका लागि नीति बनाउनु पर्यो।
प्रत्येक गाउँपालिका, नगरपालिका र सदरमुकाममा अक्सिजन प्लान्ट राख्नु नै यसको सबैभन्दा समाधानको उपाय हो।
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what is the main reason for the delay in operation of services in Bir Hospital's new building? Your options are A. Lethargic working attitude, B. Lack of coordination, and C. Conflict of interest. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.